usual. My name is Tamira Hamilton. I am a senior director with Bellame, and tonight I am going to share with you the opportunity. Last week, you can find the video on my channel. I talked about what made me choose the opportunity, and this week I'm going to get more into the actual opportunity itself. I don't anticipate being on here overly long because my man Stabler is on TV tonight. So let's get going. So first of all, Bellame, one of the biggest attraction factors of Bellame is the fact that the company is less than 3 years old. It's about 2.5 years old. So the biggest opportunity within the opportunity is to get in now while it's still very new, still very fresh, and we are really starting to see a lot of momentum, but we are far from a peak, right? We are far from being saturated. We are far from some of the things that you see in companies that have been around for a lot longer. I do also want to point out too that you can chat with me. I don't know. Okay. So you don't see a lot of the things that you see in other companies. When companies start, it's like they are really, really loose. Everything is about just building and building fast, right? Excuse me. And then they get to a point where it almost feels like they want to slow the growth down a little bit, maybe to not have to pay people as much or something. I don't know. But the great thing about Bellame is actually a debt-free company, so I don't see that happening with Bellame. But it's a great time to get in and now mark your stake in the ground and really ride the wave, help build the wave and ride the wave. And the upside to this is pretty limitless. It's completely limitless. And this compensation plan is probably one of the most easy to understand, especially for me, someone who didn't really have a lot of experience in the industry. When I started in the industry, this is only the second company that I've partnered with. And so I'm going to share some things with you about the compensation plan that really attracted me and that I really love. Some of them I actually shared when I went when I did my video last week. So the big thing on this is the commission structure. So you can get paid there's 19 different ways, but you get paid for doing basically 3 different things. Number 1 is sales. You get paid on your sales. Number 2, you get paid for building a team. Or number 3, you can get paid for doing both. I'm ambidextrous. I do both. I have a nice sized team, and I also am a top retailer. Okay, so that's my happy place. I'm not here to persuade you or dissuade you from either of those 3. I'm here to support you in whichever 3 that you choose. What's unique about this compensation plan is, unlike other compensation plans that I have been involved with, is that you don't get penalized for saying, I just want to sell and not build, right? You also don't get penalized, and this is really key for me. I don't get penalized if you come on and want to be on my team and you don't want to be like me. You don't want to build and you don't want to, or you don't want to sell. Either way is fine with me because we're both going to get paid either way. And I'm going to break that down here for you, okay? So before we get into the kit, I want to talk about sales. Okay, so there's no sales requirement for your first year, and after that it's only $99 for a rolling 3 months. Okay, so there's no sales quotas, but this sales requirement does help the company remain compliant should there be any issues that people try to call flag on the play. We actually are compliant with government rules, regulations, laws, so on and so forth, as far as we are actually selling to customers. I can tell you, based on my back office, and again, I won't say that I'm the exception, but I will say that, in all of this industry, I'm probably an outlier. I have nearly 100 customers, and they have purchased from me, and I have sold well over in excess what has come out of my pocket. And so that is why that $99 requirement comes into play your 13th month. And if you are someone, which I recommend, whether you sell or build, it's easier to build with product. It's easier to sell product when you are a product of the product. You have a face, you need to cleanse it, If you just put our Cleanse and Renew Duo replenishment every 60 days, boom, that will take care of it. And if you are using the product and you're sharing it with friends, family, coworkers, you should have at least one customer that has it on auto replenishment as well. So again, boom, that sales requirement is taken care of. Now, when we sell a product, we actually earn a commission on that product. That the amount of commission is going to depend upon whether or not that customer is a Beauty Passport customer or a retail customer. So we get anywhere between 20 to 40% commission on our retail sales and 25%, 20 to 25% base commission, right? So it's 20 to 25%, and then once you begin to rank up, it can steep up to 40% just on your retail sales. And that alone can be, a nice piece of change that would make a difference in a lot of people's lives, be able to pay for extracurricular activities or something like that, okay? And I do want to put the disclaimer that I won't say that you lose money, but I can say that you would not make money if you don't do any work, okay? So every person's results are going to be different depending on their network, depending on the work, effort, time, talent, knowledge, actual formal education that they have, okay? So we get 20 to 40% on our retail orders, okay? We get 4% on our front line as soon as you start and without rank advancing. That's huge, okay? So if you were to join my team today, the minute you sell a product, the minute you buy a product, I'm going to get my 4%, regardless of whether or not you rank or you get to a certain level, and then it kicks in. The minute you hit the ground and you become a partner, I earn 4% on what you do, okay? And the same for you. The minute you start someone, you get 4% as well. You don't have to stand on one leg, bark like a dog, or do any of that like I had to do in the previous company. There is a 3-month quick start program. That's what I really love about this opportunity, is it really is designed for you to make money, not to not pay you, right? Now, I'm not going to, pick on where I last partnered, but a lot of compensation plans, it's almost as if they don't want to pay you. They make you do all these crazy things in order for you to get paid, okay? And so here, there's a 3-month quick start program designed to help you get a good, solid, strong footing, because we, Bellame partners, the owners, the company, understand that it's same as a job. The first 90 days are important. If we don't get you off to a fast start, we lose you. We got to get you going, and get you going quickly, get those wins, build up that confidence, and get you going. And so this 3-month quick start program gives you unlimited $100 bonuses for retailing and for building, right? For retailing with your Beauty Passport customers, because that's going to help you build a solid foundation, and you don't have to go into every month like, oh my God, how am I going to make this happen? Because you've already got customers who have committed and promised to buy. Now, it doesn't mean they're all going to go through, but I haven't had that problem, okay? And again, everybody's individual results do vary. I feel like, in this whole anti-MLM thing, I've got to really cover myself. Okay, we've got new products. I mean, I'm dizzy. I can't even tell you how many products have launched since I have been a partner. I cannot begin to tell you how many products have launched. There are a lot, a whole lot. Like, all around me is product, and there is more product coming. Launching is a great way to do business, having new product. Now, we might almost have too many products launching, and I think that is a great product to have versus being in a product drought. Trying to build during a product drought can really kill your spirit. Trust me, been there, right? That's not the case here. We've got products launching and even relaunching some things, and maybe even adding on different shades and that to other things that have already launched. So that is very, very exciting. That launching is a very exciting way to build. You've got something new and exciting to talk to people about, and every time we launch, the launches get bigger and bigger and bigger. The team gets bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? You also have access to an enroller pool that's available immediately, no matter your rank. So many of these bonuses have nothing to do with your rank. I absolutely love that. Okay, so that enroller pool is comprised of shares that you earn towards 1% of the total company's commissionable value. That is huge. Okay, now, I've been partnered with companies that had something like this, and then again, as soon as people began to make too much money, or they wanted to shift their focus and make it more difficult for people to make money, then what they did was made it more difficult to earn their version of an enroller share. Not the case with Bellame. You get it off top, okay? Most compensation plans will only distribute the commission at the highest level of third generation. Okay, so when that happens, that means you've got to kind of reach down and go deep in your organization to pull the money up, because you're literally pulling it. If you're you know, up here and you're down here trying to push the money up, it doesn't work that way. You're literally pulling the money up, and I can tell you that from 30 years of sales, marketing, leadership experience. At that rate, you're pulling the money up. Now, however, with Bellame, the highest level of commission is on your first generation, the people that you personally recruit and sponsor into your organization. And what that does is that gives you more control over your paycheck, because you're not working with as many people. You're working with your front line, the people you know and have the most relationship with, and you guys can lock arms and work together to push it all back up. Okay, and what you're doing is you're helping them, and then they're doing the same thing with their people, and that really has this domino effect. Okay, let's see, I'm trying to read my notes here. Yeah, so you don't have to rely on those under you to make sure they pop leaders to move the volume down. Okay, so your first leadership rank is director, and to qualify for director, that is only $250 in personal sales for the month. It's 4 active front lines and $3,000 in your team sales. Okay, it is going to vary how long it takes you to get there, but people have been able to do it, and do it pretty quickly, depending on their level of commitment, what their goals are, and their experience, time, talent, and that. It's entirely up to you. I just want you to know that if you wanted to do it in your first month, you absolutely could do it within your first month. I was able to do it. I didn't really fully start working my business until June, and by July, I had hit director. Now, that doesn't mean that that's what you would do. What you would do is completely based upon you. So the compensation plan, like I said, is very straightforward. It's very simple to understand. It's all about you getting 4 customers, preferably on Beauty Passport, every month, getting 4 new people on your team, and that $250 in personal retail sales, and you are a director. And there are benefits to becoming a director. I don't want to go into all of that on this call. What I can tell you is I have seen people who've been in the industry in multiple companies for 9 to 10 years, never cut a check. I've seen people who might not have been in 9 years, but they never really got like a commission check. They'd only gotten, like, if about is, there's nothing worse than you doing the work, right? And the compensation plan being so complex, and stand on one leg, bark like a dog, howl at the moon, that you don't get paid because somebody missed an auto ship. You don't get paid because whatever, right? That doesn't happen here, because first of all, there is no auto ship requirement. There's no complicated monthly requirements. There's no constantly calling and begging people to keep their auto ship going. There's no just, all these different complicated forms and things that got to be filled out, and if you don't do them, then you don't get paid. I mean, it's 2021. Their computer system can track whether or not you've done the sales. So why are you not paying me because I didn't do the sales? And that doesn't and I did the sales. That doesn't happen here. It's very straightforward. It's very easy. Love the fact that there's no auto ship. Like, when you have an auto ship, the challenge with that is it's hard for people to actually see any return and actually feel like they're making money, because a lot of these companies with their auto ship, what actually is happening, people are making just enough to pay their auto ship. And in today's world, people need to make more than enough to cover their auto ship. And in order to make enough to cover their auto ship and then have some left over, some people just don't have the capacity, whether that be their timing and their schedule, their family life. They just don't have the network. They don't have the skill set. With this compensation plan, you can basically make what you would have to spend on a auto ship and actually keep that money without having to do an auto ship. Now, I always still recommend people get product, but you're not every month having to hustle hard only to turn around and hand it all back over to the company, right? So that's the compensation plan. We get paid 3 times each month. I can go over that in more detail with you one-on-one. But if you're looking for a compensation plan that's generous, that's lucrative, and that actually is designed to pay you, then I would definitely recommend this opportunity. The other thing I would say too is there are great incentives. Like, I am tracking to go to Cancun in October. And what I love about that is the fact that you can do it just off of your sales. You don't have to rely on your team to do it. You can literally get there just off of your sales alone. And that's what Melissa wanted to do when she put this plan together, was to put a plan in place that allows people, if they want to just sell, to sell, and you can still rank by just by your sales alone. Okay, you can still earn incentives by your sales alone. You can rank just from building, right? Because that 250 PSV, that includes your own orders, right? We get volume on our sales tools, things that other companies just don't and won't do, because they end up making less money. But this company seems to understand, by not charging us all these annual fees, admin fees, and fees and fees and fees and fees, they give us room to actually put money in our wallets and actually be able to do something with it other than just spend it on more of the company's product, right? And by doing that, then, my little psychology training from being a marketing major comes in. Maslow hierarchy of needs, we move up from having to worry about this, having to worry about that, to having some breathing room, things starting to be taken care of, and that just motivates you to do more. And that, I know I said I love everything about the compensation plan, but that right there really sums it up, okay? That right there really sums it up, that it's really about getting people paid and making it very simple and straightforward to do so. And so now I'm starting to feel like a broken record, but if I'm just going to be transparent. I'm not going to tell you everything is perfect. It's not. But I'm going to tell you it's better. It's better. It's definitely a lot better. And it's a lot easier to stick around when things aren't perfect. Because here's the deal. When you are working with a company that's this new, there's going to be a lot of growing pains. There's going to be a lot of growing pains, right? Like running out of cleanser in July, the month that we launch mascara, and not being able to have cleanser until September. And then so you run out of cleanser, and that makes a run on moisturizer. And then the next thing you know, you're out of serum, right? And so there are going to be things that are crazy. Our illuminating polish was supposed to come out last April, and that has just been a whole saga. Let me tell you, it's finally now on my boutique, available with auto replenishment. So you have to have some patience and understand that those types of things happen. And so when I say it's not perfect, that's what I mean. But what allows me to keep getting up and bringing this opportunity to other people